Hey friends, not Link here. These are some friends that I could probably live without. Let's get started, shall we? Bro, I can't hear a thing out of these awful headphones. How am I supposed to watch these videos? Hi, I'm the headphone fairy. I'm here to solve all of your problems. Excuse me? With the FiFine H9 Ampli-Game headset, you'll be all set. What? With built-in surround sound, you can fully immerse yourself in all of the drama. And with this nifty control box, you can control the volume. Whoa, okay. That's actually pretty cool. You like to game, right? Yeah. Well, this headset comes with a microphone attachment, and you can mute yourself if you don't want to talk. Plus, it easily connects to your PS4, your PS5, your Xbox, your Switch. Is it comfortable? Try it. Dang. Okay. Test, test. Whoa. Thank you. My pleasure. And don't forget, of course, the FiFine H9 will be linked in the description if you want to try it out for yourself. Well, let's use these bad boys to watch some drama.
Get ready with me while I tell you about my toxic friend that I cut off after 21 years. All right, so my friend, let's call her Olivia. Thank you, One Direction. I've known her since kindergarten, and everything was fine until we got to high school. She started to get a reputation of being the boy stalker of the entire school. She would somehow find guys' numbers, and she would message them, never getting the hint that they weren't interested, and people just weren't too keen on her because they were afraid of her. When it came to boys, there was no boundaries. She actually messaged my sister's boyfriend after she went with me to visit my grandpa while he was in hospice. My sister's boyfriend was with her. She met him for probably 1 second, didn't even say anything, messaged him on Facebook that night and basically said, "Hi, I'm Olivia. We met at the hospital." Girl, why are you sliding into his DMs right now? Not only that, but there was actually a guy that I was talking to. Guess whose DMs that she slid in? He ended up sending me the text messages of proof saying, like, is this your friend? She was hitting on the guy that I was talking to. This is supposed to be my best friend, mind you. We got in a fight. Things were fine. I always end up taking her back because I'm too much of an empath, and I was just like, okay, you made a mistake. She didn't, though, because we ended up going to college together, and this is where things get really bad. There were these two guys. I thought one was cute. She thought the other one was cute. Her guy was also really interesting. He would, So that's the kind of guy that she was going after. I don't even think I ever spoke to my guy. I just thought he was, like, cute. But this is where it gets bad. So we were in, like, the common room one day, and her guy is passing, and me and her are playing pool. He comes in, and he's trying to be, like, all flirtatious and says, like, oh, like, can I play pool with you guys? She walks away. She goes to sit down on the couch, and then she's looking at me, like, angrily, like, and I'm like, what are you doing? This is your moment to shine. The idiotic guy goes, oh, winner gets a kiss. So I'm like, oh my God, Olivia, what are you playing? Like, this was the perfect setup. The guy he didn't even care. He just wanted anybody. So I was like, listen, he's ready to go. Okay, you really want him. Let's do this. She's just staring at me. So I'm like, okay, this is great. I did not entertain his conversation whatsoever. I ended up leaving with her, and I'm like, we're not doing this. As we're leaving, the guy that I think is cute is passing, and he looks in and he just waves. That was it. Nothing else. A wave. She's still mad. So I'm like,
why?
What happened here? She ends up sending me a really long paragraph that night about how she's upset that her guy said the kiss thing when I literally was trying to be her wing woman, and then she was mad that the guy I thought was cute waved at me. So this is just the beginning. Get ready for part 2.
Ugh. I already have such a bad feeling about this. And I also want to say, like, I think it's very important to have different taste in men than your best friend. Because if you and your best friend have, like, the same taste in men, uh-oh. It's always important, I think, to acknowledge the fact that, like, your best friend thinks this person is cute and you're like, yeah, hype them up, you know? You might not be into that, but you gotta, like, hype them up. They're your best friend. But the moment you're, like, have the same taste, that's when problems start. And I've got a bad feeling that this might be kind of that situation, but at the same time, this woman seems to be just going after everybody. So I don't really think it's that much of an issue of, like, best friend, same taste. I think it's just best friend has man and I want man. But the the girl's right. She has the opportunity. The guy's like,
oh, winner gets a kiss.
so now is your time, girl. Get in there and start flirting with this dude. But let's see what happens next.
So this entire book, I shouldn't even call it a paragraph. This book is her describing how she's upset because she thinks I'm pretty. She's describing how she's upset that the guy I think is cute waved at me. And I said, why would that make you upset? Like, you should be happy for me because that's the only interaction I've had with this man.
And
she
she's
did
not
care.
interested in him.
I can understand feeling like insecure, but I didn't do anything wrong. But she was directing her anger at me.
Of course.
So that was that. Let's fast forward. And I actually started talking to a guy at college. And this was like actually, like, we weren't dating, but we were seeing each other. This is where it gets really, really weird, okay? Things are going well with this guy who's literally sleeping over. She literally has the audacity to text me one day and go, hey, so I think me, you, and blank should go on a vacation together. Maybe we can share him. She did not mean, like, all of us having a party together, and which I would also not be okay with. She literally, to the T, wrote, I can have him one night, you can have him the other. A guy that I'm actually, like, talking to.
Oh!
Tell me how that makes sense. Tell me how you have the audacity to bring that up. I kind of let that slide because, again, I always took her back after a fight. I don't know why. I think it's because I felt sorry that she didn't really have any other friends, and I've known her for so long, so I'm like, oh, it's just, like, something that she does. I ended up leaving the college, like, a few months later. I just wanted to do different things, and thankfully I did because during this time is when I met my now husband. She did not like this. She did not like that, A, I had somebody who liked me, and she also didn't like that, B, I left the school. She ended up leaving the school shortly after as well, and she kind of refused to ever meet my now husband. She did meet him once. We all went to get bagels, but, like, anytime he was visiting from England, I'd be like, oh, like, I really want you to see Sam, and she'd be like, no. And I was like, okay, that's kind of strange. Over this time, she was having a few different boyfriends, and she cheated on every single one of them, sometimes with their best friends. So this is when I started pushing away, because I'm like, I don't want to be friends with someone who has no remorse for something like that. We decided to go on a little girl's getaway upstate, and she is at the supermarket with me, and she goes, what should we cook them for dinner tonight? I go, who? Like, we're in the middle of nowhere. Who are we cooking dinner for?
Yeah.
Go to part 2. I'm so sorry.
Part of me wonders if this friend is not just jealous of you. Like, guaranteed she's jealous of you. There's no doubt about that. She's, like, complaining that you're getting all the guys, that you're pretty, that kind of stuff. But I'm wondering if she's not necessarily just jealous of you, but if she's jealous of the people you're dating. Because to me, it kinda sounds like she might be into you. If anybody giving you attention is a little bit of a... So is she jealous of the fact that you're dating people and she's not? Or is she jealous of the fact that you're dating people and not her? If you also think she's in love with her, hit that like button. I want to see who agrees.
This girl has the audacity to say that these 2 guys are coming over. One for me, one for her. I'm dating Sam at the time, okay?
Yeah.
I think we were together maybe like 2 years at this point. I'm like, are you actually kidding me? She had these 2 guys come over, and I said to her, if you leave me alone with one of these men, I will never talk to you again.
Good.
Thankfully, she did not, but I was not happy. I was texting Sam the whole time like, I have to get out of here. Also, side note, the guy that she was, like, bringing over, she cheated with her other boyfriend with this guy at one point, but she said it was so it didn't count as cheating. Now, the next part is probably the worst thing that she has ever done, and I don't know how I took her back after this. This should have been the last straw. But one of my friends passed away, and the day after she passed away, Olivia was gossiping about it to everybody. She messaged me, and she messaged my other friend, and she was like, hey, did you hear this is how she died? It wasn't even correct. Like, it wasn't even the way that she died, and she was just gossiping about it. So I said, yes, I understand that she passed. She was a close friend of mine, and I'd rather not talk about that. Yeah. And she goes, oh, sorry, didn't know you guys were best friends. That was her reply to me saying that I was upset. Keep in mind, throughout our entire friendship, she never once was there for me. Like, anytime I needed her, she wasn't there. But every time she needed me, I dropped everything like that. Everyone around me, my friends and family, were always like, why are you still friends with her? She treats you like garbage, and I just couldn't see it. But after my friend passed and she was just making it a gossip thing and then not even showing her support or anything, that's when I was like, all right, you're disgusting.
I feel like this re-emphasizes my theory because she's like saying,
oh, sorry, I didn't know you guys were best friends.
Like, because she wants to be your best friend. She wants to be with you. Honestly, red flags everywhere in this friendship. I understand wanting to like give your friend the benefit of the doubt, especially if you've been friends for 21 years, but this is just too far. And we didn't even address the fact that she previously said, oh, we're gonna share a man. That's wild to me. Like, if you're not in that kind of relationship mindset, and she's like,
Oh yeah, we'll just share him. Like, why not? Let's share it.
no.
Anytime I would call her out on something, she would end up blocking me on legitimately every single platform. I don't know why. It was almost like I did something wrong. So she would block me, and then whenever she decided, like, oh, okay, I'm going to message her now, she would just message me like nothing happened. She would literally message like, hey, how are you? Not an apology, not anything. After the whole friend thing happened, I ended up taking her back again. It sounds like we're in a relationship. I ended up taking her back, and this is when it was like around the time of my wedding. So we were talking about my wedding. I was so excited. I obviously sent her the bridal shower invitation, the wedding invitation. She did not come to either one. My best friend did not come to our wedding.
Yeah, because she's
jealous. She didn't even send a congratulations card. She didn't even say congratulations. She also did say she was going to come to the bridal shower, and she just didn't come. Her parents are also just as bad because they've known me since I was 5 years old, and they couldn't even say congrats. So I was just like, This whole family is so toxic. Yeah. And to this day, she has still been messaging me. And guess what, guys? I have not answered. So I'm finally done. Get rid of the toxic people in your life.
Woo! Agreed. Toxic people need to go. Heaven knows I've had my fair share of toxic friends, and I am so much better without them. It's so peaceful because no matter how much you feel like this person is your best friend, the moment they start like causing you issues, and not just like normal friend tiff issues, but like actual issues, you start to feel better when they're not around as opposed to when they are. You just gotta let them go. Just let them go. I do feel bad though that the parents also didn't say anything, because if you've been in this girl's life forever and even the parents aren't saying anything, that just shows that you're right. It is kind of the whole family. That's how she's been raised. It's all about her and her needs and her wants, which may or may not include you. And it's just a one-sided friendship. So I am so glad that that's a friend you decided you could probably live without. Oh, girls got receipts. Okay, let's watch this.
Here we go with her text. Why does blank see you and look at you and wave to you and smile at you and acknowledge you? Oh, wait, and blank now. Oh, and blank was staring at you.
She's so jealous.
The way I was at 18 years old, like, I was doing everything I can to make sure that, like, she felt good, even though she was literally, like, psychotic. But I was way too nice. Looking back at these now, yes, I should have just been like, girl, shut up. So my reply to that was, what am I supposed to do about it? I'm not even wearing makeup. Maybe they were staring because I'm ugly. I know how cringy that is, okay? I was trying so hard to make her feel better.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Because that's it, question mark. I said, you never know. I don't see why you're annoyed at me. I didn't do anything. The most dramatic part. Whatever, ... I just ... I always feel like you're better. You're better than me with everything. You hang with famous guys. You get so many chances with so many people. Continued. You get so many chances with so many people, like meeting blank and blank and blank and blank. You have a career set. You're doing great in school. You're gorgeous. You're always going to be prettier than me. Always. I don't care what you say. This next part. Don't deny it. It's just going to make me more mad and upset. Guys choose you all the time. Blank and you get along. Blank, 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 blank. Now blank. Now blank. Oh, wait. Don't forget blank. They always will pick you to talk to, you to hang out with. You're prettier. That's why, and I can't take it anymore. You're number one always, and I'm number two always. To clarify, like, the famous guys part, she's meaning, like, social media people. I was on a social media tour, which I invited her to come with me on, but she always said no. This whole section, guys choose you all the time here, and the names, those were kids in my class. Guys with girlfriends who were in my class. Like, no flirtatious things or whatever, just people that were in my class. She couldn't stand that guys, like, considered me a friend and not her, even though she wasn't even in those classes.
Heaven forbid.
This one was cropped for some reason, and I don't have the original, so this is what we got. I don't hang with famous guys. I invited you to come with me when I hang out with those guys. Blank, blank, blank. They're my friends. Am I not allowed to have guy friends? And blank, I know for a fact I'm not prettier. They're just friends. You're gorgeous, and it makes me upset that you can't see that. Again, I'm trying so hard to make her feel better about herself because I know how insecure she was feeling.
And you're friends.
She goes, it makes me upset that blank picked you. Blank would pick you any day. How can you see that? Like, what does this pick me? Like, what are they picking me for? She goes on to say, I'm just annoyed that you're always first. Guys always like you better. I felt horrible just sitting there. He wanted to play with you. Why can't you see that? Blank waved to you and said, hey. Again, blank is the guy that I have a crush on. The guy wanted to play pool with both of us, and she walked away. I said, I don't know what you want me to do. This was a few days before a social media party that I invited her to, so this was her next reply. Forget it. I don't even want to go tomorrow. Why am I going? I don't know the people. It's going to be so awkward for me. You're going to have fun because you'll look gorgeous. You'll have people who you actually know, and now you want to sleep over at the girl's house. I don't know her. Again, the person that invited us to the party. I say, you're seriously not going to go? She said, I don't know what I want to do. So yeah, a little trip down memory lane. She is actually psychotic, so that was great.
As I said before, she's jealous. And being jealous of your best friend is so hard because you really want the best for them, but you just feel torn apart because they're getting the things that you want. And you shouldn't feel jealous of your best friend. You should be like hyping them up. Yeah, we're besties. Like, I'm so proud. Your success is not technically my success, but I feel successful because you're successful. But this is just straight jealousy, and it is so hard. When you get to that point, it is so hard to get out of that. And I do feel for the girl because, of course, if that's the way she feels, then it's going to be hard to be happy for herself. But at the same time, you can't take it out on your friends. That's when you need to find like ways to better yourself, people to talk to, maybe go see a therapist because there's some like bigger issues going on there. Let's find another one.
You know how everyone's talking about their friends that they had that secretly hated them? That reminds me of a tale. Story time. So this begins in 4th grade. There was a new girl in my class. Every time there was a new kid, I would love making friends with them. I was so shy in elementary school. Anyone who didn't have a preconceived connotation of me, I just wanted to befriend them. So I'm driving home from school with my mom, and literally like 3 houses down from me, I see her playing in her front yard. So the next day at school, I said to her, do you live in, and I said my neighborhood, and she was like, yeah. And I was like, I live right there. And she was like, cool. I don't know how we became friends after that, but we did. We were attached at the hip. We hung out every single day for years. Now we're in 7th grade. I'm noticing that she's starting to get a little boy crazy. If you've ever had a girlfriend that's boy crazy, you know where this story is heading. Girls that prioritize men and male validation, they're gonna choose guys over you. 10 out of 10 times. Every time I would hang out with her, she would be texting boys. We'd be jumping on the trampoline, and she would stop every 2 minutes to pull out her little Envy phone and text some boys. As 7th grader, she started doing acts with this one boy in particular, and I had no interest in that. I was literally 12. I was nowhere near that. So we were already starting to go on some different paths here. So one day we had another friend that was mutual, both of us, and we were all hanging out at my house. I need to give the girl a name. The boy crazy girl, her name is Anna in this story. Anna is like, let's go to the high school football game. And the other friend we were with, let's call her Cheryl. Me and Cheryl and Anna get there, and immediately Anna ditches us to talk to some boys. Me and Cheryl are just kind of there like, what do we do now? Also, this is one of like the first times that Cheryl has hung out with us. After like a few hours of Anna completely ditching us, she's just talking to these boys the whole time. And I do want to note too, these weren't even cool boys. They were kind of like weird. They were just gross. Like, I'm sorry. If you're gonna be obsessed with some boys, at least make them cute. Cheryl says to me, look, I'm nervous. I didn't tell my mom that I was gonna be here. It's getting dark. Like, can we please go back? I was like, yeah, like, that's not a problem. So I call my mom to pick me up. I'm telling Anna, like, look, Cheryl has to go home. Like, I want to leave. I'm not really having fun either. We're gonna go. You can come with us if you want. Things are about to get really juicy, but go to part 2.
I'm sensing a little bit of a theme here with some boy crazy people.
And she was so mad. I guess because like we were her ride. When we get back to my house, we go into my basement. Mind you, it's still me, Anna, and Cheryl, our other friend that we've only hung out with once. All of a sudden, Anna starts screaming at me, saying stuff like, you are just jealous that I was hanging out with these guys and you made me leave. You're a horrible friend. Screaming me out in front of this other friend that we barely know. I was mortified, and she's screaming. It was abusive. Like, I was traumatized, and mind you, I wasn't even saying anything back to her. I was just sitting there crying. Never again will that be me. But I was a 7th grader. Again, the reason we left was because Cheryl was stressed and wanted to leave. Anna had ditched us anyway. Even like telling this story now, like my heart rate is elevated because it was so disgusting how she treated me in front of someone else. It's one thing to yell at your friend. I've never yelled at any of my friends like that. And then it's another thing to do it in front of someone else that you're not even comfortable with. Like,
yes. Yes.
Who does that? My
It's so
mom
awkward.
actually could hear Anna screaming at me. She comes downstairs and is listening from around the corner. And let me tell you, my mother, she's a strong woman, and she's also my biggest fan. So she's listening to this, and she's like, hell no. My mom pops out from around the corner, and she puts Anna into her place. I tell her mom
Good.
everything, so she knew all the tea about Anna and how Anna was always ditching me for boys and like kind of sucked, honestly. She was not a good friend. So she brought out the receipts. Am I proud that my mother had to step in and put a 7th grader in her place because I couldn't? No. But am I glad she did it in that moment when I was completely just sitting there on the beanbag crying my eyes out? Oh yes. And I would have her do it again.
Okay, but as like somebody that young, it's harder to do that because you don't know how to defend yourself. You just kind of take it. So I get it. I love the fact your mom brought receipts. Mama Bear's coming out.
After my mom came down and cut the conversation off real quick, Anna got real quiet. And I'll never forget me, Cheryl, and Anna sitting on the couch watching TV after this moment in dead silence. I have never been more uncomfortable in my entire life. They finally leave, and that ended our friendship. It's like days and moments like these, it like changes something in your brain chemistry. I'm never letting someone treat me like that ever again.
Good.
She can honestly suck my ass. After this fight, Anna's mom called my mom up screaming at her. You know it's real when the moms beef too. Like, I've never been so glad to end a friendship my entire life.
I understand why Anna's mom like called your mom, because if it was my daughter that got screamed at by an adult, as a mother, I'd be like, excuse me, why are you coming at my daughter like that, bro? But at the same time, I totally get it and I feel for you, girl. Again, jealousy. I know this may not sound like super obvious jealousy, but it kind of, to me, feels like jealousy because she's flaunting in your face that, she's getting all of these men and you're not, and you're jealous of her. I feel like she's projecting. I think she's probably jealous of you somehow. For what reason, I don't know, but I'd imagine some of her insecurities you have like really good qualities for. So she's jealous of you for that, and she's projecting her jealousy by trying to make you jealous by showing you all the men that she can get. Keeping in mind this girl's like so young and it's so weird, but at the same time, we were all like that when we were younger, weren't we? Everybody just wanted to be like the popular kid and wanted to be the best and the most fun, so I do understand it. But I'm also not surprised that that girl you took out of your life. Well, I don't know about you, but those are some friends that I could probably live without. These FiFine H9 Ampli-Game headphones are so good. They're so versatile, the sound quality is great, and I definitely recommend them. So if you want to grab it, link is in the description. But if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now!